All right, well, congratulations. You made it through the data-driven career starter kit. Gone through the 5 different steps. You're on your way to making this transition in terms of how you articulate what you want from your career and how you execute through your job and different aspects of your career using a data-driven approach. So you're more directive and you have more ownership of ultimately achieving what you expect or what exceeds your expectations. So just a reminder, this is the process that we covered in the starter kit. Okay, so all first about collecting data and creating your plan. You really need to understand at the end of the day what you expect out of your career and an honest baseline of where you are right now in your career. And then you exist in the ecosystem of expectations. Remember, expectations aren't always the same thing as goals. They can be, but expectations are also the stories that are in our heads. It's your job to collect the data about what the different stories in your different stakeholders' heads are, especially those that have heavy influence on your career. Then once you collect that data, you align it to your expectations and your baseline, your milestones, and where you want to go. And then you create your plan. And remember, your plan is ever evolving. It's not static. Then once you have your plan, you start to execute it, breaking it down into smaller steps, making it more achievable, gaining momentum, motivating yourself to make it happen. And then as you're progressing, you start tracking against your expectations. So what's the progress? What are the accomplishments? What are the endpoints? And you could also bring in things that you've done from the prior year to get some immediate value from this step. And then step number 5, I know it's the last step, but it's also something you could start doing immediately, is communicating out your value and using the situation methods and the results and the scope and the relevancy and the comparison and the context of what the expectations were set and the accountability, bringing all these things together and doing it again and again and again, building your brand through the value that you're providing through work and articulating that in your communications. So where do we go from here? I can't apply what you've learned from these sessions for you. You have to do it. You have to own it. You have to make it happen. My job here was to look at my experience, my direct experience, and also my experience of coaching others and helping them to be successful, to give you some acceleration here and not take the many years that I had to in order to realize these things and to support others in their own success. So apply it and adapt it. Just because you saw me articulated in a certain way, your situation might be a little bit different. Adapt it. These things are not set in stone. In terms of your data collection, it's important, yes, to collect the data from you and on the things like the expectations of others. You can make some inferences based upon your experience, but go out there and collect the data from others as well. 2 things, you're going to have more accurate data for your plan. And the second thing is, your simple asking of these types of things from the stakeholders are going to articulate to them that you care about what they expect. And it's going to demonstrate your leadership skills. So just the simple act of collecting the data is important. And if you're not sure of the questions to ask, developing some consulting skills is really important. And I'll talk about that more in the pro program, which you have access to. The important thing here is iterate. This is a data-driven approach. You're not just going to do this single data collection at the beginning of a cycle and then you're done. You're going to get data as you execute, and as you progress. Update your plan. Be nimble. Be agile. Keep on iterating. That is what is going to make you successful. Now you can start the free program or the pro program. You can go over to that program. That's 30 plus sessions and exercises. I focus on 6 habits for developing consistent success. I go deeper into motivation, into strategy, planning, execution of strategies, as well as further expansion of your scope through direct and indirect leadership. And I take a deeper dive into communication and communicating out your value, as well as also inspiring others, your direct report, stakeholders, and others, in more transformational leadership aspects. And finally, I do offer face-to-face and one-on-one mentorship. Anything that I do face-to-face, one-on-one, or face-to-face in group sessions, I do charge for. You can see it on the site. Just go to coaching. You don't have to do that. If you'd like to, have limited time, you can opt in for that. We can talk about your specific situation. Happy to have that chat. Or if you want me to review your plan for your starter kit, could also take the time to do that. That option is available to you as well if you would like it. So that concludes the starter kit. Congratulations, got through it. I hope you're applying and adapting what we discussed in this program. And if you want, you can jump over to Pro right now and start to go through those videos and those 30 exercises that can help to further in these 5 areas and even go beyond it to more advanced leadership approaches and data-driven approaches for your career. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for dealing with the music in the background in Starbucks. I need to work in agile environments because this whole pandemic and working from home thing. But I look forward to seeing you in the Pro program.